Hello, one and all, and welcome back to Let's Watch Death Battle. I am the Maxifeud Trades. In today's episode, we have a special one. A special one in the sense that it's something I've been looking forward to, but mostly it's been something one of my dear close friends, your only mate, Mark, who's been waiting for basically his entire life. And by whole life, I mean about 5 or 6 years. But still, that's a long time, especially on the internet. And that would be Blake Belladonna from RWBY versus Mikasa Ackerman. I think I just said her name correctly. Boy, sure would be embarrassing if I got that one wrong. Anyway, from Attack on Titan. So, to a bit of a pre-ramble into this one. So, Attack on Titan is a series that I know has been incredibly successful and popular for a good long while. It only just recently ended, and I've never actually watched or read any of its associated media. So, that's a bit of a rough spot, but just through knowing Your Only Mate for as long as I have, he's told me just about everything under the sun that there is to know about this character, Mikasa. I feel like I know her pretty well. I feel like I even know her well enough to even call myself a fan of the character, but you can't really say that without also... You can't say, yeah, I'm a fan of that character, and also say, yeah, I've never actually watched the show. That's not really how that works. So, there's that. But I know a general amount about her. Enough to think that she's really cool and that this is going to be a fun fight. As for Blake, well, I'm pretty subtle about this, but I'm actually a bit of what you might call a casual RWBY fan, just a little bit. I mean, yeah, you know, I kind of got this poster here. I also have another poster in a different room of my house, a giant wall scroll next to said poster, a Funko Pop, a couple plush toys, a couple of figurines, a voice actress's autograph on a piece of fan art I've drawn. I've commissioned a couple professional artists to make custom artwork. And I may in fact have an actual metal replica of a particular character's iconic weapon, so yeah, you know. Casual fan. Now, of course, the greater majority of the things I just shown were about the character Weiss Schnee, my personal favorite character, and this video has nothing to do with her, and luckily for us, she's never been in Death Battle, and never has been, and never will be. No, today is actually about her friend Blake, and, yeah, Blake's cool too. You know, she's a ninja, she's a cat girl, she does flips, she's got a sword, Kasurigama thingamababo, she's doing all sorts of stuff, she's got her shadow semblance, she's got all that stuff going for her, she's a cool character, I like her a lot too, and, so, there's really no beating around the bush here. Admittedly, having not done any intricate research myself, I can't say with 100% certainty that I know who the winner is going to be, but I feel like I know enough about both just from hearsay and my friend's many conversations and his own assurance that Blake is definitely going to win this on the grounds that she is stronger, faster, tougher, has powers Mikasa has never been able to ever even experience in her lifetime. I think Mikasa's only real advantages are the fact that she has more experience, I believe, because I guess she has the ability to recall all past experience and memories in her bloodline, so that's a thing. So yeah, it looks like Blake probably has this on lock, but I mean, whatever. I mean, as long as it's a cool fight, it's a cool fight, you know? So we're really just gonna kind of get into that. It should be basically a fight between two high-flying, sword-wielding, broody gals. So sounds like a good time to me. That's more than enough jibba-jabba, as it were. How about we actually watch this thing, eh? Ow. It's honestly a fair bit surreal to finally have this episode happen.
Belladonna, the feline huntress from RWBY.
And Mikasa Ackerman, the giant killing scout from Attack on Titan.
These two reluctant heroes are fighting for a better world.
What'll happen when they go toe-to-toe to see who's the swingiest and the cuttiest? He's Wiz.
I'm honestly kind of at a loss for words. I'm excited to see the episode, but I'm also just really excited for my friend. It really is a lot of this amp. All right.
Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable.
I wonder if JFK was thinking about anime cat girls when he said that.
Despite the world of Remnant being home to a plethora of magical beings, the
I was
Faunus were subject to
unaware of
discrimination
Clone
from
High and
humanity.
Ruby. That's weird.
So dumb. How could humans be racist against Faunus? Aside from looking slightly different, they're basically exactly the same. Oh, I get it.
For most of her youth, Blake
Funny that, huh?
Belladonna worked with the Faunus activist organization, the White Fang. But when her parents expressed concern at its growing violent
Didn't go
tactics,
too well.
she ran away to join them fully.
Oof.
Yeah, Ginger Kylo Ren's influence was making it all cat girl supremacist-y.
Believing the Faunus deserved
A
to
little.
rule the world instead of humans, Adam Taurus turned the White Fang into a terrorist organization. With the young
Sure
impressionable
did.
Blake in tow. Now Blake got to put her superhuman Faunus abilities to the test as a guerrilla fighter.
She's not a gorilla whiz. She's clearly a cat. You dingus.
That's not what
As a clearly cat Faunus, Blake's
Have
got
we seen a gorilla Faunus?
strength, speed, and endurance.
That'd be pretty
She
cool.
can see in the dark and even pick up on sounds regular humans can't hear.
Blake has also
The kitty
unlocked
ears.
aura, the manifestation of one's soul. Similar to the Eastern concept of chi, Blake can use her aura
Or
to
ki.
passively withstand intense damage.
There's about 1,000
So, if
comparisons you can make.
overtaxed, she will be as defenseless as any ordinary human.
Ooh.
Her aura survived this huge flying monster called a Nevermore crashing into her. Twice!
Measuring the size of the Nevermore compared to the stone structure it shattered, we can gauge it had
Well,
to have
yeah,
broken
but I
over
feel like
2,000 cubic meters of rock.
That means Blake's aura.
I'm pretty sure there's been more impressive feats.
TNT without even breaking.
I guess you could say she
Sidebar.
sold it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Eh? Eh?
Don't try that again, or I'm gonna have to cut you with a sword as sharp as Gamble Shroud. It's everything.
His puns
you
are no
ever
worse
wanted
than
in a
boomsticks.
sick
I've never
man
understood
of
why
a
that's
woman.
always
Part
such a
katana,
thing.
Part Kasurigama, and it wouldn't be Ruby if it wasn't part gun. Hell, its sheath is a sword too. That's just showing off, and I like it.
The 96-meter long.
It's a little overkill.
The katana's hiltless, Blake used Gamble Shroud as a grappling hook for maneuverability and creative attacks. An invaluable asset for the White Fang and her new boyfriend.
Well, until he threatened to blow up a bunch of innocent people. Now, instead of a bad boy, he's just a boy that is bad.
Horrified, Blake.
There's
turned
a
back
very
on
strong
Adam White Fang.
difference in
For the
in
second
terminology
time in her
there.
life, She ran away.
It's like running away is her superpower.
In a sense, it is.
Yeah.
Blake's aura allows her to
Kinda.
possess a unique ability or semblance called Shadow. Born from her desire to escape, Blake can create a brief, intangible clone for deception, evasion, or even to propel herself through the air.
She can even combine them with different kinds of dust, which is basically magic gunpowder. Fire
Yeah.
clones will explode on him.
That's actually a great way to describe it.
She's just solid. Though once she runs out of aura, that's it for her semblance too. Wiz? Buddy? Man, I killed him. And it wasn't even on purpose.
And don't worry, just some biological cloning. It's a hobby.
Uh-oh.
Don't ask if I'm the original. I genuinely don't know anymore. Alone again, Blake lacked purpose and a place to call home.
Put that in your
Until
wiki.
she reached Beacon Academy. There, she learned to be a huntress, a soldier of peace sworn to protect the land from monsters and any that would do it harm.
Yay.
And she wouldn't do it alone. Blake would join up with fellow huntresses in training, Weiss Schnee, Yang Xiaolong, and Ruby Rose to make Team Ruby with a W.
She didn't just find teammates, but friends as
W! Sorry.
Feelings gross. Don't worry, the power of friendship didn't get in the way of her kicking some ass. In fact, it made her even better at it. She's defeated
As it
the
tends to
Mr.
do.
Roman Torchwick, the Kaiju-sized Sea Fei Long, and the Assassins Mercury and Emerald, and they could dodge natural lightning.
Comparing
Nah,
the distance
there it
they
is.
traveled relative to the lightning bolt, we can determine they were moving over.
So I guess the light
26,000
speed
meters per
calculations
second,
aren't being
nearly 80
considered.
times the speed of
Fair
sound.
enough.
She even managed to stand up to Adam and all his mom just doesn't understand energy with the help of a new, way less toxic partner. So long, you abusive a-hole.
No easy feat considering Adam was strong enough to pulverize this massive spider droid with his moon slice, a feat worth over 4 tons of TNT.
Not too bad for a bootleg Virgil, and Gamble Shroud could take hits like that over and over before breaking.
Fair.
Despite her troubled past, Blake would never stop fighting. for
That
a
is all very
more
accurate.
peaceful, more equitable world. She was done running.
Aw.
With her friends at her side, she would face the future head on.
So long.
Well, not that it's not cool, but why were they using her cross-tag battle super for that?
Enjoy the rustic medieval architecture, hardy populace, and oh yeah, ooh, yep, that can't be good.
Cowering behind enormous walls, the last remnants of humanity were
Bit of an
near
understatement.
extinction by the arrival of the monstrous titans.
Despite that, little
They're
Mikasa
extraordinarily
lived a
weird
happy,
looking.
normal life until her parents were brutally murdered in front of her. But never fear, she Una reversed the shit out of those assholes with the help of Eren Yeager, another pint-sized psychopath in training.
Adopted by Eren's parents, Mikasa and Eren somehow lived a happy, normal life.
Yeah.
Until all their friends and family were brutally murdered by titans. I'm sensing a pattern here.
With barely anyone in her life lasting longer than a 25-minute episode, Mikasa became Eren's guardian angel.
Yeah.
Certainly a valuable
It's
asset
a
to Eren, who devoted
very
his life
dark
to
series.
exterminating the titan threats.
Together, they joined the military and got their hands on some sweet titan-slaying gear. The vertical maneuvering equipment
Undeniably, very badass.
Me.
Also known as omnidirectional movement, or ODM gear in the anime, it allows Mikasa to fight the towering titans at their own level.
ODM gear comes with
Technically.
20 to 30 foot long iron wire spears she can separately aim and shoot. It'll hook into any surface. They'll allow her to swing around like a steampunk Spider-Man.
She can zoom through the air and change
Maybe don't
direction
remind
on a
people of
dime
that.
with a special fan on her back that fires pressurized gas.
Farting. That's called farting, Wiz.
What the?
I'll get another clone.
How did that kill him?
Mikasa's
What?
ODM gear can propel her at speeds up to 366 kilometers
Okay.
per hour. That's almost a third the speed of sound.
Assuming she can reach top speeds in a second, that's over 10 G's of force, 10 times Earth's gravity.
For reference, astronauts withstand about 3 G's of
And
force
she's
during lift-off.
spinning around real fast, too.
Stand up to 9 G's for a second or two during aerial combat. Even just 6 G's for a sustained period of time can be fatal for a human being. But Mikasa can survive almost twice that much and fight giant monsters at the same time.
True.
That insane speed makes her especially deadly when she whips out her special Titan-slashing swords made of ultra-hard steel. And that's exactly the term I'd use to describe myself after watching what they can do to a Titan.
Despite their name, they're rather fragile, at least relative to the super tough Titan skin they have to repeatedly cut. So Mikasa carries a set of 12 that she can easily dispose of and replace mid-combat.
Yeah,
Convenient.
that kind of became a problem when some super intelligent Titans started sporting crazy tough armor. That's when Mikasa breaks out the big guns, the Thunder Spears.
Yeah.
Essentially,
I've heard.
proto-bazookas, the Thunder Spears are thrown like javelins. They're sharp enough to pierce even the armored Titan's impenetrable hide, and once their fuse is severed, they'll explode, devastating anything within range.
Shattering the armored Titan's
That's
armor is
not nothing.
It was tough enough to tank punching a hole through Wall Maria.
By measuring the size of the gate in comparison to, let's go with this guy, we can determine the armored Titan violently fragmented over 1,000 cubic meters.
Way to go, that guy.
That'd take over 18 tons of TNT, enough to level a city.
Okay.
block, and the Thunder Spear shreked it. No surprises here.
They're always so
You're
much
too
better at
close to
math
one
than
of
I
its
am.
finest. It's game over.
Despite the awesome power at her fingertips, Mikasa only really joined the military to watch over and protect Eren.
Like a loving mother hen of death. And that became way harder once Eren learned he could also turn into one of those super intelligent Titans.
Yeah.
Humanity's greatest weapon against the Titan menace, Eren was at the center of all major anti-Titan operations.
Oof.
Meant Mikasa was there too, ruthlessly dispatching anyone that might harm
She
him.
got real good at it.
For yourself, Eren. So what if your childhood home was destroyed by a Titan?
My headbutt her.
Rent free in this girl's head. And it could be worse. You could be Armin. Man, it's like she's programmed to protect him.
You're not off base. Mikasa's last name isn't inconsequential. Ages ago, the Ackermans were bioengineered to be subservient super soldier royal guards to the mighty Eldian Emperor.
Well, wherever all that shit came from.
Well, I didn't know
she's got
that
Ackerman
part.
Blood coursing through her veins. The same blood that gives her a fraction of a Titan's power without transforming. Holy crap!
That I didn't
It's
know.
that power that allowed Captain Levi, another Ackerman, to dodge point-blank bullets. That's over Mach 2, and Mikasa can easily keep up with him.
It also lets her subconsciously tap into the combined
But bullets aren't
experience
lightning.
and battle instincts of Ackerman's past.
Yeah, there it
It's
is.
like the avatar of Titan murder.
Unfortunately,
There you
this
go.
blood bond with Eren means that even when he goes too far, she's obligated to protect him, kind of like a robot.
I don't buy it, Wiz. She doesn't love him because of her DNA. She loves him because he's the only one who stood up for her when she couldn't stand up for herself. When she looks at him and the rest of her friends, she sees a hope for a brighter tomorrow.
Wow, Boomstick, that was touching.
And she has fart powers.
Well, it was nice while it lasted.
I'm not listening
All right.
to a word of this. No point.
There's many points. You have swords.
All right, the combatants
Silly
are all set.
lady.
We've run
All right, so yeah, that kind of really seriously lines up with everything that I've been hearing and seeing over the 5 to 6 years that I've had your only mate talk to me about this particular matchup. Seriously, like every time like a new chapter of Attack on Titan came out and Mikasa ever did something, or even another character that did something impressive, he always made sure to let me know. And I obviously watched Ruby alongside him for a very long time, so there was always that. But yeah, that lines up. It all checks out. Everything was pretty much stuff that I kind of knew. There was new information in there. I didn't know it was like they were like a royal destiny bloodline robot protector thing. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Not incredibly relevant, but it does, it does give her a boost. But yeah, even with, I think I know why. I think I know why they stuck, Blake having better durability than that Nevermore thing in the corner. Because, yeah, I feel like that small number was needed to make it sound like the numbers in Mikasa's camp were, more closer, even though there should be higher numbers. And even then, they clearly showed that the Mikasa can dodge bullets and Blake can dodge lightning, which, if you don't know, is an incredibly large amount of difference, to put it very simply. So, yeah. Also, there's the fact that I guess her swords can all break, so that's possibly a bit of an issue. I don't want to say that she has no hope. I feel like, with Death Battle, even the most hopeless of fights, with the exception of, like, 2, there's always a possibility that a person could defeat their opponent, give or take. But, so, there are obviously situations where she could probably pull out ahead, but as they are wont to so often say, there is very, they try to focus on the majority of the time, and I feel safe to say that if you ran this fight about 100 times, Blake would probably win about 97 out of that 100. So that's gonna be my guess. That's my estimate. That is the knowledge that my friend has passed on to me and my own hypotheses. Let's watch ourselves a really cool flippy-dippy fight. I think that's what this is gonna be all about, and that makes it more than worth it in my eyes. Hi, Blake.
Hey! Civilians were supposed to evacuate this area hours ago! Get the hell out of here! They're coming!
Oh,
You deaf? I said get the hell!
rude. There's that strength difference for you. Hello.
Leave me alone!
That's how most people ask for privacy. A kick to the gut.
Are those 2 sets of ears? She must have 4 times the hearing.
Well, a lot more than 4, but general idea. Nope. Gonna go ahead and say nope to that attack. Casual bullet slicing and what have you. All good stuff. Oh. This has got to be like the most frustrating person to fight ever. Blake can just make it look like she's died and then instantly turn her back around. Yeah. What are you supposed to do about that? Okay, ow.
She likes popping those clones and attacking me from behind.
Did you really need to replace the swords on that one? She's the expert. Okay, they didn't bring that up. What was that? All right. Oh, dang. Oh, now that was really cool. You only got so many of the. Oh, okay. Well, I guess she does know what she's doing. Fair enough. Ow. Okay, no, I feel like her spine would have broke from that, but all right. Oh, well, that's convenient. The face. It's like, oh, that's not gonna be good.
Gotcha this time.
Oh, dang. Oh, dang! Oh, dude! We hypothesized, predicted that. That's awesome! I think it's even the same arm we guessed. Aha! That'll do it. Jesus. Blake, you lost an arm!
Better not to get too close to that thunder spear. Too bad she can't hear him.
Go, don't fight, go to a doctor! You crazy cat!
Despite Mikasa's overwhelming and frankly terrifying tenacity, Blake's varied arsenal
And energy Beyblade powers.
The ODM gear allowed Mikasa to keep up with Gamble Shroud's agility, but in terms of offense, Mikasa was kind of a one-trick pony. And that's especially compared to the Swiss anime knife that is
Blake's just a wee bit more versatile.
10 to 16 times longer than either of Mikasa's cable.
Blake's variety of shadows she could spam at will kept Mikasa guessing, and her aura allowed her to survive any attacks that could land.
Yeah.
To be fair, the Thunder Spears were a different story, and were powerful enough to shatter Blake's aura. The aura could survive around 4 tons of TNT, while the Spear's explosion could dish out over 18.
It said,
Blake's far greater speed.
Weiss have feats that surpass this.
Consistently hit. While Mikasa could keep up with characters that can dodge bullets, Blake could keep up with characters that can dodge lightning. In this case, nearly.
Yeah, there you go.
And those Thunder Spears are meant for big, slow titans, not human opponents, so it's unlikely
Oh, wow.
she'd ever get a solid hit in with one.
In that same sense,
They're even just saying that
Ackerman
Grimm are
heritage
just in
couldn't
general
separate.
bigger threats than
Give
Titans.
her generations worth of combat experience, Avatar style, but almost all of it was against Titans, not a Faunus huntress like Blake, who has powers the Ackerman family has never seen before.
There you go.
With her Odium gear's limited fuel supply and breakable swords, Mikasa just couldn't end the fight before her own options ran out.
There you go.
Mikasa had guts, but Blake's speed, versatility, and sick anime combo weapon gave her the.
Don't even bring up the
It may
strength.
have been a gamble, but Blake had the spirit to win without a shadow of a doubt.
The winner is Blake Belladonna.
Huzzah!
Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We'll be jumping into
Ah,
the next
hello.
episode next week. But you can always get more Death Metal right now by clicking one of those boxes right over there, and by downloading.
Oh
the
man,
music.
that was a cool fight. Well, we got Iron Fist. That's a panda. Okay. All right. Okay. So Poe and Iron Fist. You know, that's a fight that I always thought would be really cool, but I thought might have been a little too silly to do. I mean, I guess they do some silly stuff now and then, but I don't know. I guess they found it viable enough to actually go through it. That's gonna be fun as hell. He is a very large panda. But I digress on that. We gotta talk about Blake and Mikasa. I heard it said both ways, so I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. Oof. That was a lot of fun. It went the way that I was led to believe it was going to go, but it was still a ton of fun and really cool. And I learned some things, and I got to see a really cool fight. At the end of the day, that's really all I ever really expect and ask for. Really, what my brain is currently going to is, man, I sure hope that was everything that Mark wanted it to be. I sincerely hope that was that exceeded what he wanted from this episode, because it's hard to not constantly go back to thinking about him, because he's wanted this for so long, and he's thought about it and hypothesized and researched it ad nauseum, and I really want to hope that this was everything he wanted it to be. With the exception of the fact that I'm not even entirely sure if Blake spoke at all in that, which is odd. But aside from that, I'd have to look over it again to see if there's anything that might actually not be up to scuff. But in general, I gotta say, that was a pretty good episode. I'm sure we'll talk about it. Honestly, knowing him, we're probably gonna have a follow-up discussion that's, knowing me, is probably actually going to come out before this does. Hard to say. Well, I digress. I'm sure there'll be more to be said about this at some point, and maybe it already did from your perspective. Who knows? I don't. But that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have a shrine that I kind of need to rebuild that I disassembled for the purposes of a bit. Not sure if it was worth it. I will see you all later. Oh yeah.
I guess we're doing this.
Maybe don't put a giant piece of metal underneath your feet.